as a musician, you get to tour a lot, see a lot of the world, but do you have an example of one particular place, or maybe two, that really stayed very clear into your mind because for some reason it was very special?
I think the most, I don't like to say surprisingly, but you know, it was just, I'd never considered it before, but the most beautiful place I've ever been, and been lucky enough to spend some time there and to go back there, has been the islands around the highlands of Scotland, which is, you know, for me was so bizarre because I live on that island, and I'd never been up there, and I never knew that the most beautiful place in the world to me is not that far away from where I grew up. And it's really, there's something very, very special about life up there.
Can you put your finger on it? What's so special about it?
Well, the landscape is so unusual, and I was there, the first time I was there was in October, November time of year, so you know, winter, coming into winter, and it's just, for a place like England that's always felt to me quite confined, in a nice way, cosily confined, it seems so vast up there, and the colours, and there's some extraordinary people up there as well, and it has something of like sort of really intense simplicity, I guess.
What does that with a person like you being in such an environment?
Pardon?
What does it with a person like you, for in this example, in being in such an environment?
I think, well, for me, it kind of, that especially that trip we were touring, doing really tiny, lovely gigs around there, it gave me a sense of, it centred me in some way. I think it would have that effect on most people because it's so, everything is so logical. You know, like it's like this job that I do is the most illogical thing ever, you know. It doesn't, it's so I so struggle to make sense of it most of the time, and I'm very, only thing that keeps me sane is logic, you know, I live by it. And so this job can be quite difficult, and then when you get up there, it's very logical. You can see the weather coming in because you're always on the coastline, and you know, you can't do anything if the weather's going to be terrible. You know, you can't go, you know, there's no, obviously I live in a city and I'm slightly bitter about it, so up there, you know, the newspapers don't arrive till 1 o'clock in the afternoon because it takes them that long to get up there, and I love that. Yeah. You can't do anything unless the weather dictates that you can do it, and you know, that's nice.
It's like escaping the modern chaotic world.
Mm.
So, is that something that maybe that more people experience at your age, at our age, do you think? Or?
So rebelling against the modern, I don't know. I can't moan about it because I love, you know, I live with it as much as everyone else does. But if I put my mind to it too much, or maybe as much as I should, it does sadden me a little bit. Mm. I think, especially, you know, if I relate it directly to what I do, music, the value of music, it's disappearing. But I'm as guilty of it as anyone else. But I find it a crying shame, you know. But there's positives to it. More people can access it. More people can access, you know, and have an opinion and have a voice. And that's not always a good thing. But it's, we'll see what it does.